My name is Flyboy XYZ, also known as Adiv. Today we're going to be doing our second tutorial, which is attitudes and instruments. So, pretty much like there's some controls on the thing. You can't interact with them, but they pretty much show you like if your altitude or your speed and more other stuff. I think there's like 7 of them. So that's what we're going to be learning today.
Today we're talking about attitudes of flight, how your plane is oriented relative to the horizon.
So it's right here.
If you look outside, you can see the cockpit is just about 4 inches below the horizon line. We're flying straight with a decent rate of speed. This is the cruise attitude. Let's see how it reads on your instruments.
Yeah, so instruments. So it's control 1.
Take a look at the attitude indicator.
Attitude.
As the name implies, it shows your current attitude. The white line is the horizon, with the sky above and the ground below.
So horizon, sky, and then
That orange
below.
element in the middle, aligned with the horizon, that's your plane.
Makes sense. It's obviously your plane.
Just like we saw outside, our current attitude reads pretty much straight level.
Straight level. Yeah. 1 second.
Okay, now let's see how much power the engine's generating. Check
Okay.
your tachometer.
Tachometer.
Looks like we're pushing around 2,300 revolutions per minute.
So it shows right here.
Combined,
2,300.
attitude and engine
Okay.
RPMs translate to aircraft performance,
So if it's like 20, then it will say 2,000.
which leads us to your
Okay.
airspeed indicator.
Airspeed. Let's go back. Yes, right here.
Now, last but not least, check your altimeter.
Not
To figure out your altitude, you always want to read the small needle first.
small
That's
needle.
how many thousands of feet up you are.
So we're
Then
6,000
on to the
feet.
big needle for the hundreds.
So we're just 6,000 feet. 6,000.
With our current
Zero.
attitude and power output, we're holding a speed of 90 knots and a stable altitude of 6,000 feet.
Yeah, so 6,000 feet and then 90 knots. 80,
But that's about to
85.
change. Take the stick when you're ready.
Yeah, so 80. We'll go back.
Pull back slightly on the yoke to raise the nose just above the horizon line.
Okay, so,
About 2 inches.
alright, so if you see
Make
on
sure
our
you don't
ad-
inch up too much, or the angle will be too steep to create lift.
Yeah,
And without enough lift, we'll stall.
yeah, so right here, if I bring the plane up, it
Alright,
like
go
brings it up.
full throttle and start climbing.
I thought we were already full throttle. What's our throttle? We're at 77. Let's push
Welcome
that
to
up.
the climb attitude.
Climb attitude.
See how
Okay.
it shows up on your attitude indicator and tachometer?
Technometer is right here.
According to your altimeter, we're gaining altitude.
Yep. We went from
But we're
6,000.
losing airspeed even at full throttle, proving
Go
you
back.
can't avoid basic physics while making
Yeah,
the
so our
climb.
altitude just climbed. It's like
Okay,
6,000
before we go
something.
on, let's get back to a cruise attitude.
Cruise attitude.
Ease up on the
Oh.
yoke and aim your nose just below the horizon.
Sorry.
Then throttle back down to 2,300 RPMs.
Okay. So let's bring it back. Okay. So it says aim, adjust throttle to 2,200, which we already are. Aim aircraft nose just below. So I think they mean by just under
Nice
the
job.
brown area.
We're now set up with the same attitude and power we had at the top of our lesson.
Really? So look like it.
Next up is the descent attitude.
Descent. Okay.
Start by reducing your RPMs to 1,800.
So I think.
Then drop the plane's nose a bit further below the horizon.
Okay, so let's do RPM. So if I go back, let's see how much we're at right now. So we're at near 2,400, and if I go down, pretty much the way to lower your RPM is by like your throttle, how much your throttle is. So let's go check back. So we just reduced it. Now let's see. Okay, so we're at like 2,100. Let's pull it back a little more. 50%? Maybe that much? Let's see. Nope, 20. How much more do you have to go? I thought it'd be like in the 70s. Okay, now, let's check it.
As expected, with a nose down attitude, our altitude is decreasing while our speed is picking up.
Okay, so
Why
that,
don't you get us back to a cruise attitude and we'll hit the last part of our lesson.
okay, so last part, let's do cruise. So You have to go back to 2300 RPM. So full. Right?
There we go. Now that we know how to cruise, climb, and descend, let's talk about the turn attitude.
Turn attitude. What is this?
Gently pull the yoke left or right to start rolling the plane.
Okay, so let's roll the plane to the left.
If you take a look outside, you can see how our attitude's changed. But you can also check your instruments for the details.
Okay, so you can see your attitude
As
right
a
here.
general rule, you
It's
always want to
slanted.
keep your turns under 30 degrees.
Under 30 degrees. So I think
At
the
top
way
of
you
your
check that,
attitude indicator, there's a series of notches representing 10 degrees each.
you can see it right
Use
here.
them to control your roll.
So let's go back. Yeah, you can see how much degrees they're at right now.
Notice the
And
more you turn, the more you need to pull back on the yoke to maintain altitude. When you're rolling out,
pull
you'll
back.
need to do the opposite. Roll and push at the same time.
Roll and push.
The more you know about the main attitudes of flight, the closer you get to that pilot state of mind. So keep practicing, and whenever you're done, pass me the controls.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the regular one. So we're pretty much at it. You have our aircraft right on the RPM check. Okay, let's go give it the controls to her. Control Alt X. Okay.
Thanks, I've got control now. Well done.
Okay, that was good. First try. Okay, so what we learned, let's see. Understand cruise attitude, climb, descent, and turn. And then yeah. So this was tutorial 2, attitudes and instruments. And now we're gonna go back to the training room.